Like the planets, our lives revolve around certain stars. Like a frisbee, the acceleration of our lives, even as we move forward in life, is towards the center. And although the direction of our velocity is tangential and almost away from the center, in the end, we still find ourselves revolving around it no matter what direction we take. Isn't that centralization what keeps all sides of Earth warmed by the sun? Doesn't that obsession give mankind direction? Obsession isn't necessarily a bad thing. Acceleration is constant, speed is the same, but in changing directions, which all lead to the center. What does your life revolve around? Ever since I went into college, I asked myself that question. For me it was music. Others books, literature, food, culinary arts, sports, adventure, pets. We all have our own obsessions, certain things which our lives revolve around, and the deepest is love, and I wonder, love, oh love. It all started like every other story starts. I never asked it to happen. In the random probability that the universe provides us, a star came into my life, and her gravity pulled me towards her orbit. And more than that, the universe conspired to keep me in that orbit. I found out we were classmates in math. Lucky me. I wasn't the best in math, but I sure could keep her entertained inside and outside the classroom. So in time we became friends. But cheesy as it may seem, I think I liked her even before I met her. And now it was actually happening. Yes. But now that I got the friendship, what can I do to maintain it? I remember the first time I made her smile. Ever since then, I wanted nothing more than to keep doing it again for the rest of my life. And soon, as my feelings deepened, so did her trust in me. I was her go-to guy of sorts, her Dr. Phil. My heart was warmed, but at the same time, my expectations deep down inside, I knew I wanted more than just friends. My hopes were like pushing a crate up a steep plane. Instead of gradually making my way, I slipped and fell fast, rather than incline my way and take more time, but move safer with the same amount of energy given to this love. And so, behind the smiles and laughter, when the potential energy reached its maximum, it was a domino just waiting to be pushed from the edge. My unrealistic expectations. The higher you stack them up, the greater the fall. Soon, I began to become more brash. I became more arrogant. I became more clingy. Simply because I was looking for something she couldn't give. Then I found out that problem she told me about before, and she usually told me about, that guy, he was her boyfriend. I stacked my hopes too high, and as age increased, so did the force with which I fell. So I told myself, time to move on. But I won't lie. It takes time to increase speed. No vector works on its own. I always work in 2 dimensions. I was a charged, unstable particle left on my own. So much so that I damaged the things around me. I didn't need to be obsessed. I could just be passionate about my guitar. I could be passionate about my friends, but spending time with them, listening to their dreams and their struggles, laughing with them. I could balance my life. I didn't need a single obsession. Maybe if I thought about the past and the future less, and stopped trying to search for answers and just bask in the moment, I'd eventually find you again.
Get on your knees in the fire. You can leave it all in your mind. All in your mind. Calling the back.
So I found a bro to take the extra electrons away from me and to induce some equilibrium into my state of being. Slowly, I found myself again. And I found my guitar. Yeah, I was tired of living like a kite, bound by a string to the ground, free but enslaved. Although I was flying, I wasn't soaring. I was just anchored, really. So I freed myself. I cut the string. Love is a form of internal energy. We want it to work 100% ever since the industrial era. Countless inventors have tried to create the perfect machine without ever stopping once to just be content with the current work outputs. True, improvements could be made and have been made over the years, but 100% efficiency could never be achieved. And just like in life, nothing ever is perfect. We just have to look at the bright side of things. Perhaps Newton's law of action-reaction can also take place on the atomic level. While the spin of one particle goes left, its opposite particle spins right. So if you spin the other particle left, the first particle goes right. So every action indeed leads to another action, but still, the particles don't move in one direction. In that same way, I tried to show her I still loved her without making it obvious it was me. I tried not to be negative about it. I tried to just induce the positivity. So I was happy now. I settled in. I found a family in my block. My grades were fine. We'd celebrate after midterms. Still, I knew deep down inside, she was just there, waiting for me, as a friend. Indeed, I was content with the amount of U, of W. And I wasn't paying much attention to the Q anymore. So maybe I take back what I said earlier. Maybe I still loved her. Fine, maybe I was even obsessed. But what I do know, isn't it that obsession which gives us direction? Doesn't the towards the center spin of an object in space, or a frisbee in flight, or any round projectile keep its motion near perfect and beautiful? Like when I strum a guitar and keep the tightness on the strings constant, it still makes the same sound. In the same way, love is like that. Sometimes, no matter what you do, you'll make the same sound. So just take things slowly. Do it, but don't give too much that you end up hurting yourself. Don't pull the string too hard. Don't increase the amplitude that you risk breaking the string and in the end making no more sounds. So I plucked softly and basked in the music of the universe and time. After the passage of time, energy in the environment returns to the state of equilibrium, just as cold ice becomes warm water again. You just let it be. Sometimes orbits aren't perfectly circular. Sometimes you just have to distance ourselves from that star. But when we go back, enjoy the moment. Like Halley's Comet. And isn't it so that each star doesn't only attract one planet, but many planets? I guess it's just about being content with the amount of light we receive. Because in the end, don't we all get a certain amount? And don't we all have a certain purpose in this solar system, in this universe? Just because you're not Earth, just because you're not Jupiter, doesn't mean you don't have a purpose in the solar system. So after 2 years, one day, after making so many friends, meeting so many people, accepting the fact that not all stayed in my life, I decided to take a walk in memory lane, literally in memory lane, in the place where I first met her. And, well, I found a spot where I got carried away by my guitar playing. Little did I know that I prevented something that she didn't want to happen from happening to her.
Get on your knees in the fire. You can leave it all in your mind. It's all in your mind.
When I left, everything changed. And when I returned, nothing changed.